What's going on, guys? Craig here with All Tech Together, coming at you with another product review. And today, we're going to look at these, the HS60 headphones from Creative. Full disclosure, these were bought by me with my own hard-earned money, so there's going to be no conflict of interest here. But, before we get into that, I just want to thank everybody out there who's left so many great comments. I love all that interaction. I love the fact that my subscriber count is going up. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please do so for more content and hit that like button. I love doing this for you. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. When we start looking at these headphones, we're going to start with overall build quality right away. And I'm going to interlace some B-roll in this just to give some better looks at these things. So these are a primarily built plastic headphone. They don't feel super high quality, but they feel quality enough for the price. I think I paid about $80 on Amazon for these, and I think that's Amazon.ca, and I think they're about $60 on Amazon.com. So for the price point, these feel pretty decent. Like I said, all plastic. There's a little bit of aluminum here on the hinges and on the side, and they remind me build quality wise a lot of the HyperX Clouds. Just a little bit more toned down. But I think for the price point, the build quality, at least from the headband, is okay. I think it'll take a little bit of abuse as long as you're not too rough with your headphones. The headband up top is padded slightly. It is certainly not thick padded. On the side, we have the mesh. These are closed back headphones. So once I put these on, it kind of creates a little bit of a seal, and I don't get that airy sound stage like you would with an open back set of headphones. But I noticed when I first saw these, I thought to myself, hey, these are open back. But as soon as you put them on, you realize they're not. It's just a mesh grill that makes it look a little bit better. Now, they do swivel a little bit on the hinges, just enough for comfort, and then they also swivel on the ear cups themselves, and that gives a little bit more comfort. So it does really fit nicely. So the build quality and the comfort are not that bad for the price. It will be noted, and because we're talking about this now, I've worn these exclusively now for about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. The headband, as much as it's got a little bit of pad, it's not thick padding. And it did hurt the top of my head within about, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. It caused a little bit of discomfort on the top of the head. So just be aware, if you buy these, keep the receipt so that you can send or return them if you need to. Just because there's nothing worse than buying a set of headphones and putting them on, sitting down, getting ready for your gaming, and all of a sudden they start to hurt on you. It's terrible. And I mean, I know a lot of YouTubers out there say these are budget for $60 to $80. They're budget. That's right, they are budget. But I would be lying to you if $60 to $80 isn't still money. And if they're not going to work for you, you don't want to spend that money. So just be aware that, again, everything else is fine comfort-wise except this top. Now, these are a 50 millimeter driver. So that's the size of speaker, is 50 millimeters, which is approximately 2 inches. So they do give a good amount of sound out of them. The ear cups, however, they are comfortable, but you'll notice, and I'll give some B-roll too on this, they look thicker than they actually are. There is some padding here, but it's that leatherette type padding, and they're not super thick, these ear pads. But I didn't have any problems. They still did fit around and didn't cause any sort of discomfort and things like that. They're plenty big to fit your ears. I don't have huge ears, I don't think anyways. Let me know in the comments if I have giant ears or not. But they fit over my ears, no problem. They didn't cause any wearing in my earlobes or anything like that. Didn't touch the internal drivers. There is something a little bit weird, and I'll bring it in close and hopefully you can see it. There's a little bit of a hump here. Hopefully I can get some B-roll of that hump. I don't know why it's there. It didn't touch my ear at all, but I don't know. I'm not sure why it was there. So overall, build quality is good. and comfort is good. Now on to sort of the connection points of this. This is a hardwired in to the left ear cup. There's no removable 3.5 millimeter cable here, which to me is sort of a mark against this otherwise quality built headphones. I do like it if this ever decided it was going to break on me. Alright, I lost it. Your cat, your dog, your kid, somebody chews on it, you know, things like that. You could pull it out, clip it a new one, just like the HyperX's. And a lot of other headphones have this now removable cable, but this one does not. On the back of the left ear cup, there is a volume wheel as well as a mic mute button. And you know what? Those are super convenient. I like those. I like the positioning of them. They're easy to find. They're quick. You know, if you want to turn down the volume because your kid or significant other or something like that's talking to you, you can turn them down quick. If you need to, you know, let out a big burp or something, you can hit that mic button so you don't offend all the other people playing Overwatch, because heaven forbid we do that, right? So you can hit that button and it's easily muted. I'd have to say this is probably my second favorite way. I like the button. That's nice. The best way for a mute, honestly, to me, is just to push up the microphone. Unfortunately, what the problem with the pushing up the microphone is usually that microphone is then permanently attached. With this, you'll notice there is no microphone on here. And that's okay, because the microphone is removable, which I really like. And so it just plugs into this little 3.5 millimeter end, and I have a fully functioning headset now. Now, I'll do a mic test in a little while when I show you kind of the software, and we'll get into that, why there's a software for a headphones or a headset here real quick. But the mic is super comfy, nice, good articulating, can be bent around, it stays where it's supposed to. That's really nice, and when you don't want to use it, pull it out, and Bob's your uncle. I don't actually have an Uncle Bob, but you may. So, it's really nice that way. One of the big problems I have with this removable microphone is this little nubbin that I have in my fingers here. This is designed to plug this port off when it's not in use. Fantastic. I'm telling you right now, this little plug, because it's not attachable to the actual headset, if you're like me, you're going to lose this thing in about 7.34 seconds flat. It's little, it's going to get dropped, it's going to get sucked up by a vacuum, something, it is basically gone. So I feel like this should have been captive in some way, just so it could have been rolled back out of the way, and then it would have been a lot better. But other than that, there's nothing on the right ear cup. It is totally just this matte plastic finish. Now, on to why there is a mic mute and stuff and software for this is a 3.5 millimeter connection. Plug this right into anything, into your Switch, into your PS4 controller, Xbox One controller, mobile device, tablet, anything like that. This is going to work just fine. But these are the HS60s. Now, the HS50s would be just this headset, that's it. The HS60s come with this USB sound card. And this USB sound card is what you need to use for the software. Okay, so you can just run this to any USB, and this is USB 2, or 2.0 rather. We just plug that in, and it's going to register on the iQ software. So you need to have the Corsair software going in order to get the full functionality of this USB little sound card. And you simply just plug this into your PC, plug that into there, and I am ready to go. So that is super nice. My one problem with this is Corsair, you're killing me here. When HyperX made their USB sound card, they put a few controls on the sound card. Now it's a little bit bigger, and that's okay. Their HyperX one's a little bit bigger, but you have access to volume up, volume down, mic up, mic down, and your 7.1 surround just with the push of a button, rather than having to go into the software of Corsair's and doing it that way. So I feel like Corsair could have done this better.
Off the top here, you can hear I'm going to do this whole sort of demonstration of the audio and the software here with just the microphone headphones, or headset microphone. There we go, Craig. Get it together, man. So you can sort of get a better understanding of how this microphone sounds. But before we get into the software here, I want to bring up something. The box has a little tag on it. It says it is Discord certified. And for those of you out there who are new to this sort of thing, I just want to bring this up because I feel like it's a little bit of BS and bad marketing. Now, yeah, I'm sure it's Discord certified, whatever that means, and however Discord, the chat app on the PC, deals with that, I guess. But if you go to a Best Buy or a Memory Express or anywhere, your local electronics retailer, and you're going to buy a headset, and you see one with Discord certification and one without Discord certification, don't automatically think that the Discord certification makes something better, because that is not the fact. My Game 1 headphones from Sennheiser, they have probably one of the most, probably the best microphone out of any headphones or headsets that you can get. And if you just look them up, you'll see it's renowned for being a very, very good microphone. And they're not Discord certified. Now, these are Discord certified, the HS60s, and they don't even hold a candle. So just be aware, just because something has a little badge or a little placard on the box or something like that, does not mean that you're getting a better product than something that doesn't. You might have to do a little bit of research to figure it out, but I would suggest you take some time to do that research. Okay? Now, looking at the software here, you can see I have some Corsair stuff already here. Here I have the headphone stand that also has a sound card in it. And I actually feel like the sound card in the headphone stand and the sound card in the HS60 surround is the same sort of hardware. I think it's identical. But if I come here and I click on the HS60 surround, shows me my headphones, which is nice. And then I come over here and I go to the EQ presets. And they have 5 of them here, sort of already set up. And I can have these live. And you see as I click Clear Chat, shows me my EQ setting. Bass Boost shows the EQ setting. This is a custom one that I made, and I have it as EQ preset 6 because I'm super creative that way. Okay, and I have it sort of as in a smile pattern. I have pure direct, and then I have movie theater. Okay, so if you're somebody that likes just a flat neutral sound, pure direct is the one for you because it's flat across the board. But if I want, I can simply come up here, click, and make a new preset. I can make as many of them as I want as I go. I can make, so here's preset 8, preset 9, 10, and I can make just tons. If you want to custom make and just have super, super fun with this sort of stuff, you can do this very, very quickly and easily. And then simply, if I said, oh, I don't want EQ 14 anymore, I can just come over here, delete it, and I can delete them all. So the software is actually pretty user-friendly. Over here, I got my mic volume, so I can up and down. If you know your friends are saying, hey, you're yelling too much or stuff like that, you can give them their ears a little bit of a break. And then right here, I got the stereo. Click that. Now I got my surround sound. Click that again. Surround sound is off. So it's actually a super easy, super intuitive software. Now this is the IQ beta software that they have, but it works really well. There's nothing problematic. It's quick. It's snappy. It makes sense. It's easy to sort of see what's going on around it. All in all, I do like this, but again, like I said, my only problem with this is that Discord certification. Now, you've heard enough of my voice throughout this sort of demonstration. You should be able to figure out sort of if you like this microphone or not. I'm not a huge fan of the microphone through my testing. I find it's sort of low volume, and it's kind of got a lot of air behind it, a lot of white noise and static. It doesn't make your voice sound very good. But for gaming, chatting with friends on, Overwatch and things like that, CSGO, I think this is a serviceable mic. It's not going to do as well as, let's say, the Gamer 1s or the Game Zeros from Sennheiser's, but remember, those are $300 headphones. I'm not comparing those two at all. I think that's ludicrous to do that. But for the $60 to $80 price point these are, I think this microphone is adequate. And that's all I can say about it. It's not great. It's not terrible. It is simply, if I had to give it a mark out of 100%, I'd give it a 50%. It is middle of the road, adequate as far as I'm concerned. And so that is it for the mic test and the software. So let's get back to the rest of the review.
With all the software and stuff out of the way, we need to talk about sort of the elephant in the room, and that's the sound quality. Now, the whole time I was reviewing these, I always tell myself, $60 to $80, $60 to $80, you can't compare these things to higher end headphones. So when I put these on first thing, I was automatically sort of like, these aren't the greatest sound wise. Once I played with the software a little bit, things changed. And it really stood out to me that these are a decent pair of budget headphones. Now, I know a lot of people say, they're good for the cost, they're good for the money. And that's something that, me as a YouTuber and just a tech enthusiast, I always have to remember that the money that I spend on these, so $80 for these, are they worth the $80 price point? I'm going to say they are not worth the money. Not because they're not good. I do like them, but I think that if you went and bought a pair of Clouds, the Cloud 2s, for example, they're a little bit more expensive, and that's the catch-22 here. But the Clouds would probably be they're better sound than this. I have to say that. I don't like saying it because I don't like knocking a product, but that's my job. Or not my job, that's my passion, is to knock products sometimes when they need it. I find that Clouds are better. Now, Cloud 2s are better. Now, some of you are probably going to ask, hey Craig, what about the Cloud the smaller Clouds, the Cloud Stingers. There we go, the Cloud Stingers. Do these sound better than the Cloud Stingers? And I'm going to say these and the Cloud Stingers sound very, very similar. I tested them with a guy I know has some Cloud Stingers. I tested them side by side. They sound very, very close, which is good. And so if you had a choice between these and the Cloud Stingers, I would go with these 100% more. Because A, you get the USB sound card, which is great. Okay. B, you still can use it on every 3.5 millimeter or 1/8 connection that you have in your house. Fantastic. The other kicker to this is the detachable mic. I would not feel weird about taking these like this out just for a walk or on a city bus or anything like that. I would still wear these, and that, that's worth something for me, is the fact that they are not super gamery. Other than the little Corsair logo, which to me has always been really nice, this one anyways, these things are great for that regard. So as a budget pair, they are good. I can't say much more than that. The one other thing I do want to talk about is the fact that as a package, I like what Corsair is doing here. I like the fact that they have the HS50s, they have the HS60s, and then they have the HS70s. And I'm going to try and get a pair of HS70s here in the studio to sort of compare the HS60s to the 70s and find out, what are we sacrificing with the wireless as compared to the wired. So, and I'll put them sort of side by side, and I'll compare them and let you guys know what I find out. But on a sound stage, these things sound fine. There's nothing wrong with them. The mids are good. The highs are good. The 7.1 virtual surround is adequately done, I'd say. I know a lot of people hate it. I don't like it in certain things. I like it in certain things. It depends on what I'm doing. But it's there if you want it. And if you don't want it, you can simply just turn it off. So, all in all, I'm going to give these a solid pass. They're for the price, they are fine. Are there better alternatives for maybe a little bit more? Probably. But, hey, it depends on what kind of cash you have in your wallet. So, there you have it for that review. Again, guys, my name is Craig from All Tech Together. I'd love to hear back from you, so hit that subscribe button, leave me comments, hit those likes. I'm going to have another giveaway coming out here pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.